Welcome, everybody. It is Sunday, December 5th, 2021, and we're about to go into our Q&A section of the call, the Sunday Morgellons call, relating to the diet and how to get it to kick in. So, okay, here we go. Questions?
Yes, the diet we talked about in the first segment. You were sharing with me on a phone call earlier today that people were telling you they were on the diet, and what were they eating? They said they were eating what?
One person was eating peanut butter sandwiches and yogurt with fruit. Another person was eating just avocados. Said, I don't eat much, just avocados. And another person was eating pineapple. If you read the diet, you'd know that those are a big no-no.
Yeah.
These are people who have been working at it for a long time. And I'd say, well, you can never eat peanuts, and they say, good to know.
So please, no matter how long you've been in the program, go back and look at, refresh your memory about it, because you may have brought something into the program or into the diet that's really not there, and you may not be progressing nearly as quickly as you could be if you were not consuming that particular food.
Right.
So, Chris, open up somebody's line. We have some questions.
Gwen, you can go ahead with your question, Gwen.
Hi, Gwen.
Hi. Okay, so I did phase 1, and I was able to, it did kick in.
Great.
But what I noticed is that with phase 1, there are a couple of things going on with me. One, I'm a diabetic, and number 2, I'm small. So I went from probably 125 pounds to 100 pounds in phase 1. And then I started trying to eat more because I was in phase 1. I needed to stop the weight from losing the weight.
Right.
But it seems like, to me, this is my experience, is that it doesn't matter. Once I had these things going on for a while, I could eat a whole bunch of carbohydrates or sweets, and the more I ate off the diet, the smaller my weight got, because I guess I was feeding more. But when I just do the diet, then it seems like all my body fat started to go away. So I'm at the point now where I have to eat to keep a certain amount of fat on my body. And I'm still having problems eating the crackers and the things that's allowed on 1, like the rice, because I'm still losing.
Okay, do you like do you like chicken?
Love chicken.
Okay. What do you do with the skin?
I eat the skin.
Great. That's good. Eating chicken skin or any animal skin like that is good to help maintain weight. Robin, what do you like to say?
I wanted to say that bacon with no sugar has lots of fat in it. It's really helpful. You can eat any kind of beef, hamburger, roast beef. You can make gravy with a little bit of spelt or rice flour. And, if you're going to go to stage 2, add red potatoes first, because then you can have mashed potatoes. Potatoes are fattening, but you can't just try to bulk up by going off the diet. That's never going to work, ever. You got to stick with the diet and find out what you can do to add. I mean, I'm barely 5 feet tall, and I lost a lot of weight on the diet, but it has totally stabilized with stage 2.
Gosh, looking at you on the video, I thought you were around 6 feet tall. No, just kidding.
No, people always think I'm taller than I am because I have such a powerful personality. but seriously, you need to figure out what foods are going to add calories, and and with the carbs, there are crackers you can eat on stage 1,
Vita.
Yeah, right.
Like what?
But there's a company called what is it called? I can't remember. But if you email me, it's they have this thing called organic spelt crisps, and they're really good crackers. They're delicious, and they're spelt crackers, and there's nothing in it we can't have on stage 1. It's something granola company, and they're from Pennsylvania, and you can get it on Amazon. And their spelt crackers are delicious. They also, on Amazon, you can get spelt matzah, which is another kind of spelt cracker, and you can just have matzah and butter. It's so good. And then you can make fried matzah. You wet the matzah in water, dip it in egg, and then fry it in butter. It's a Jewish breakfast, and it's really filling, and it has a lot of Columbia County Bakery. Thank you, Andrea. Andrea just texted me. Yeah. So
what's the name of it again?
Columbia County Bread and Granola. Yeah, but they sell their stuff on Amazon. But they have great crackers. You could get spelt matzah and make fried matzah, which is a great breakfast. You can make spelt pancakes. You can sweeten them with stevia and butter, and you can make spelt bread and make BLTs with homemade mayo. Make your own mayonnaise. Mayonnaise is just oil and egg, and so if you use rice bran oil, and salt and a little bit of lemon juice. Sorry, but it's really easy to make in a blender, and mayonnaise is all oil, which is it adds those fats, those healthy fats. So there's lots of things, but you can't just go off the diet and try to bulk up. It'll never work. It'll never ever work.
My old standby was always the spaghetti, rice spaghetti, spinach colored, the spinach rice spaghetti.
Right.
With turkey balls, and you had mentioned tomato sauce. Either make your own tomato sauce, or you said there was a brand by Hunt's.
Yeah, it has citric acid, but I didn't have a problem with that in stage 1. And there's no sugar, no olive oil.
And there's a brand by, I think it's Cantanita. I don't know if I can pronounce it right, but there's so check out the tomato sauce cans and check the ingredients. The citric acid is only a problem if it comes from soy. So there are different sources for the citric acid, but you don't know by reading the label what the source of the citric acid was. But
I do know that I never had a reaction to Hunt's tomato sauce.
Yeah. So, okay. So hopefully we've given you some good tips there on bulking up and and staying on the diet as well. So thank you for your question. Anything else you'd like to ask?
No, that was it. Thank you. I definitely need help with that.
Okay. Hopefully we got you.
But the diet does work. You will feel it kick in. I did feel it kick in.
It's a wonderful.
Yeah. Just don't give up. You'll gain the weight back. Trust me.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
You're welcome. Keep coming back.
I will.
Who else?
Heather, your line is open, Heather.
Hi, Heather.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, my question is, are there some common mistakes that people made when they read labels? Like, for instance, we're supposed to have real butter, but, are we supposed to get salted, unsalted? And some of them, I don't know, I can't really tell if they add sugar or not. So, it gets a little tricky reading some of the labels on stuff.
Yeah, it is tricky, and I because when it comes to soy, it shows up 50 different ways. Carrageen, for instance, is a soy. And anything with lecithin in it is out. The Chapter 4 of the diet does give you all 50 ways that the soy can show up. When it comes to straight, it doesn't matter whether it's salted or sweet butter. You just have to make sure there are no other ingredients in it. Nothing hydrogenated, nothing that is supposed to be like butter, blends or anything like that. Just pure butter.
Okay.
So I found rule of thumb: the less ingredients, the better. So when you're looking at butter, it should just say butter.
Yeah, it should.
Right. If you're looking for stevia, it should just say stevia. And, as you get better at the diet, there are some things you can get away with, like Richard was saying. And when you look at ingredient lists, the ingredients listed last have the least amount in them. So if you're going to try something with sugar, if sugar is at the end, it may be okay. But if it's close to the beginning, forget it.
Right.
Right. So, like I can eat peasant bread that only has 4 ingredients that's sold at a local store here, and they're wheat, sourdough starter, and salt. Basically, well, that's 3 ingredients. So, because I can handle that in small quantities. But anything that you can't pronounce, you probably can't eat.
That's a good rule of thumb. Now, for instance, you mentioned sugar. The strange thing, and it's explained in Chapter 4, is that depending on whether you're dealing with Morgellons and springtails, or if you're dealing with just springtails, or if you're just dealing with Morgellons, the diet is different.
Right.
All right. Now, from what I see when I look at the questionnaires, is basically about 90% of us have both springtails and Morgellons. But going back about 5 or 6 years, it seemed to be only like 50-50. 50% had both Morgellons and springtails, and the other 50% had either one or the other. But if you're only dealing with springtails and you're not dealing with Morgellons, as I was initially, sugar's okay in stage 2. You can have root beer soda, ginger ale soda. In fact, it used to be called the ice cream diet because you could literally have ice cream. Now, when you're in stage 2, if you're only dealing with columbella or springtails, there are many flavors of Haagen-Dazs you can have. Vanilla, chocolate chip, that kind of thing. Stay away from Ben & Jerry's. Total garbage, really. Just try to read the ingredients list, and you'll see what I mean. So it's a Haagen-Dazs generally. So that's a good way of finding out the diet test as to whether you're only dealing with springtails or you're also having Morgellons, because sugar will be a problem in stage 2 and even stage 3 with Morgellons. Now, if you're only dealing with Morgellons, avocado is okay. Some blueberries are okay, but not with springtails. So there are differences.
And even like I found that I could, I didn't do so well with yogurt, but I could eat kefir, which is like a yogurt drink, and I would make a smoothie every morning with banana and kefir and a couple other things that I threw in. And as I got to stage 3, I could use a protein powder and flaxseed I even added in, and I was fine with all of that.
Oh wow, you were very adventurous there. Okay.
Yeah.
So you need to keep the diary, so you can expand your diet, but you need to be cautious and careful about it, as Robin was. Now, I had mentioned in the earlier portion of the program, we were talking about gut issues, and we failed to mention the fact that probiotics are not on the diet. Probiotics are out, totally out until you get to mid-stage 2, and then you can start adding in probiotics. We have 2 enzymes in our store, digestive enzymes. One is called Chlorocor, which has probiotics in it. Fantastic enzyme, but not until you reach mid-stage 2, unless you only have Morgellons. Then you can have probiotics. If you only have Morgellons, probiotics are okay. If you're dealing with springtails, no good, no good. So we focus on prebiotics. And we talked about foods. So prebiotics, there's a complete list of them in one of the recent blog posts about it. But it's amazing what the prebiotics are. Onions, raw onions and leeks, garlic, and guess what? There's another one, a very powerful prebiotic, cocoa. Cocoa. And we do have cocoa from being alkalized cocoa, not with lecithin in it, but and not the like we have in the store. And another advantage of cocoa, we did a thing on it a couple of weeks ago, is it has it's an incredible free radical killer. It's higher than acai berry. It's like 1,000 times higher than any other natural thing that you can consume to deal with free radicals. So, I mean, cocoa is out of this world. So add it to your coffee. Add cinnamon to your coffee. That's what I do. You know, another strange thing too, if you're only dealing with springtails, marshmallow, stage 2. I love a marshmallow. It's great. Root beer candies, hard root beer candies, things like that. But not for Morgellons. Not for Morgellons. Okay. Anything else you'd like to ask?
No, that's good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Keep coming back. Okay, who's next?
Thank you.
Joe, your line is open.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How you doing?
Oh, it's trying times, but I'm making it through. But obviously, always have plenty of questions. I actually have a really hard time eating. This is kind of a bug-related question to the eating, but above my kitchen table, there is some kind of a fly or wasp or something that has burrowed into the texture on the ceiling above my kitchen table. So I'm having a hard time eating because it flies into the food. So I guess the first thing would be, do you have any idea what kind of bug it might be or how I should treat it so that I can eat?
Well, I would say eat someplace else for now, but the best thing to do with these things, I think, is red cedar oil. You take it and you apply to that area. You might be able to get it with the electrostatic sprayer. You need something that's going to either be absorbed into the into whatever it's living in, so it makes it uninhabitable, or something that can be sprayed in there. And fogging won't work, and spraying won't work, but the electrostatic sprayer might work.
Do you think I have to, like, literally knock it down, like just get a scraper and...
Well, that would be a way of doing it if you can scrape it off, sure, if you can scrape it out. But the impression I got was like burrowing into wood, So I don't know.
It's making small little caves, and then it's got little tiny black dots that come out.
Well, yeah, you can treat it with the oil, and then the next thing would be to treat it with some kind of epoxy. You can get some kind of epoxy, like you put on the floor, like that's a
good idea.
Treat the floor with to seal them up, to seal a guy up.
Okay. What about DE, food grade? If I sprayed some of that, maybe?
Well, anything the bug touches, DE is one of the most underused substances there are, and it's very inexpensive. And anywhere that thing flies, you can actually spray DE. You get a empty spray bottle, say a 32-ounce bottle or 24-ounce bottle, not necessarily with a coarse spray, but a fine spray, but more of a coarse spray. And you put about 2 or 3 tablespoons of DE into the empty bottle. You add water, but don't fill it up because you want to be able to shake it up and distribute it real well. And then just spray any area with it as well. And anything that organism lands on that's sprayed with it, it's going to deteriorate it.
Yeah, you told me about that last week. I put down 22 pounds on 1,100 square feet. So there's no shortage of DE around here.
All right, good. All right. So,
how long does that last? And then should I eat it? That was another question.
Well, not
it seems reasonable that I should eat it.
Well, yes, consuming it is part of the protocol. In fact, an hour ago, I sent you out your protocol with your set of recommendations, and it's explained in there that we use DE, we use our mouthwash, and we use fenbenzidol, recommended fenbenzidol, to do internal parasites.
Oh, okay. How much DE do I mix in or eat a day, I guess?
Well, generally 1 teaspoon twice a day, maybe on an empty stomach. There is, if you're familiar with our blog post, it's at bestmorgellonscure.com. Bestmorgellonscure.com. At the top, there's a button for the blog. You open up the blog, and you do a control find function on your computer, control F, or control locate, and search for DE or diatomaceous, and it'll take you to a post. It'll tell you how to use an accelerated program with diatomaceous earth. How many teaspoons each day, up to maybe 2 tablespoons a day. I don't remember the details, but it's there. It's also in the book, I believe.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I was going to say, I'm going on like 4 months now, and I have several parasites. How do I know like what stage I'm in for eating? And you said like a negative reaction can happen sometimes up to 3 days after you eat?
Yeah. Yeah, could even be longer. But you're trying to figure out how long it asks right away, right? So it could be within 2 minutes. You have the diet hasn't kicked in for you yet, right?
I would say, yeah, if I eat something that, well, I guess I didn't think it would go 3 days, especially anything that had like even a small amount of sugar. I've been having a lot of beans. They seem to be all right. I had lentils, but only mixed with rice, stuff like that.
Lentils aren't on the diet unless you...
Lentils are not on the diet, so you want to read that diet carefully.
Okay.
Beans only maybe if you soak them overnight. I don't think you can have beans if you don't.
Mostly kidney beans or pinto beans.
No.
No, no. They're not on the diet. So you got to go back and read that diet and make that list like I discussed in the first part of the program. Go through what's not on the diet, either put it in storage somewhere or throw it out, and then make a list of what you can eat and get that.
Okay. I mean, so far it's not affecting me. That's why I continue to eat it.
Well, what are your symptoms like? Has the diet kicked in? Can you get a full night's sleep? On a scale of 0 to 6, where would you rate yourself? 6 being itching like crazy, 0 being nothing. Where would you rate?
I'm not itching. The only time I can't sleep is because I'm literally being attacked physically.
Physically attacked by what?
A lot of flying bugs, basically my house is completely infested, and I didn't figure out that the outside was infested first. So
All right, so you have a disinfection issue going on there. So you got DE spread everywhere. That's good. That's a good start.
I threw it everywhere, and I got another bag on the way.
Okay. All right, so it's important to get your environment under control. That's going to be a challenge for you.
And there's things you can spray outside as well as inside.
Yeah, I got the fungicide 3.
Right. Yeah.
That you recommended. And
right.
Yeah. Good.
Okay.
How long does the DE last once you apply it down?
Forever, until it's washed away or blown away.
Oh, okay.
Or vacuum.
So inside where I'm just walking on it, it should be good to go.
Yeah.
It's in every room and every square foot on every surface.
Right, but it's not going to be the only thing you need to do.
Yeah. That's why I'm trying to figure out the diet portion of the...
Well, read the diet. Like, you can't eat beans if you want to get it to kick in.
Yeah. Okay. All right, keep coming back, Joe. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Right. Who else? Who's next?
Leah, you can go next, Leah.
Hi, Leah.
Hi. I actually don't have any question. I've just been listening, and I'm somebody who I'm on stage, I'll be on stage 1 for a while, and then I start incorporating stage 2 way too fast is what I think my mistake has been. So I just want you to know I really appreciate you guys. You all give me so much hope. I'm really grateful for you. And I'll just keep listening. Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Share with us, how was stage 1 for you? How did it kick in? How did you know it was working? Give us some feedback.
Well, for me, I was having crawling feelings all the time, and I work in front of a computer, and it would be the worst when I was trying to work. So I was using DE just on my face. Sorry, my headphones just fell out. So I was using DE like whenever I was feeling that. And then when I started working your program and doing the King diet, I was so heavy coffee was on it, but I have to be careful with coffee. And I put the Morgellons Essential Oil in my coffee, and that seems to really help. I just do 1 drop, and that has lasted me. If anybody else hasn't tried that yet, that's lasted me for months and months. It's so powerful, and it's really helpful.
One drop of the Morgellons essential oil? The cocktail.
Yeah, I just put that. Yep.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
Yeah,
and I put that in my coffee.
What kind of coffee do you use?
I use Cameron's organic.
So it's not so much whether it's organic, but whether it has other stuff in it. Like the plainest coffee you can get will have the least effect on you.
Yeah, I never do flavored anymore. Nothing fun, man. I'm just doing the straight up.
You better read the organic coffee because sometimes there's other things in it.
Yeah, they sometimes treat it with oil.
Like they they soak it in oils.
Yeah, Starbucks.
Yeah. So where can I find that out? Because it's not on the bag.
Well, you could write the company.
Coffee.
You could write the company. Okay. I mean, literally, I've had to do that with different foods that I wanted to try.
So.
Okay. And I found that I can have 1, maybe 2 cups in the morning, but if I have it in the afternoon, I'm in trouble, just like I've heard people say. So, and I have been really never wanting to do the diary, writing things down, and I just have to surrender and start doing it because, I'm sure like a lot of people, I kind of came in here going, well, I'm not that bad, or it can't be this stringent. And then the more I do what you guys suggest that I do, the better I am. So I just keep integrating what you are suggesting, and I'm reading the book over and over. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your share, because that is very important. What you just said there is really important. You read the book over and over, and you keep coming back, and you keep fine-tuning, and that's what it's about. Fine-tuning, getting to know what works for you, making it work, making the program work. And the results are there. It's amazing. You've got to get your life back. and welcome you to become one of our coaches in the near future.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Who's next?
Mary.
Hi, Mary.
Hello?
Hi, Mary. Can you hear us?
Sorry, I was on mute.
Oh, okay.
I don't have any questions, but I really appreciated today's show, and I've really enjoyed it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and keep coming back. We love you, and love to have you keep coming back.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, well, I want to thank everybody for tuning in and sharing this afternoon with us, and hope that it's been productive and useful and valuable for you. Robin and I are here to support you in getting your lives back, because we know it's not an easy journey, but we know it's a journey that's worth taking. We know that every one of you, before you came to the program, were working and doing this and spent thousands and thousands of dollars and still getting deeper in misery and going to doctors and getting no answers. We know that now the work is going to produce results. You're going to work. It's going to be the same amount of work, but you're going to produce results, and you're going to you make that diet work, and you're going to get where you want to go. And that is where Robin and I are. I'm further along than Robin, but she's very close behind me. You know, I've been on it 20 years. She's only been on it 2 years.
Right. Well, I had a major setback that took a year out, so.
And you had COVID. That didn't help.
Right. That didn't help at all.
So thank you, everybody.